Here's how it happens. You're drifting off to sleep, or maybe you wake up in the middle of the night to a creak down the hall. You feel like someone's watching you as you peer into the darkness. You scramble to flip on the light, and calmness comes over you as you realize it's not the boogeyman, just your imagination. But what if I told you there was once a real-life boogeyman in the streets of England? One that could bound over walls with red eyes and fire breath. For centuries, the mysterious and spine-chilling figure known as the Boogeyman has haunted the imaginations of children and adults alike. This iconic figure has transcended cultures and time, lurking in the shadows of our collective fears. In this video, we delve into the enigmatic origins of the Boogeyman and the documented history of a real-life Boogeyman. The Boogeyman's origins can be traced back to ancient folklore and mythology. The concept of malevolent entities preying on the vulnerable, particularly children, is deeply ingrained in human history. In different cultures and regions, there are countless variations of the Boogeyman, each reflecting the specific fears and anxieties of its people. The term Boogeyman is believed to have originated from the Middle English word bogey, which referred to a hobgoblin or evil spirit. In England, the Boogeyman was often associated with the mythical creature bugaboos that terrorized misbehaving children. But in the 1800s, however, this myth became a reality to children and adults alike. Also, if you aren't already, please like and subscribe for more fascinating short stories about our history. In the cobbled streets of Victorian London, a chilling legend swept through the city like wildfire. They called him Spring-Heeled Jack, a name that sent shivers down the spines of the bravest souls. Tales of his devilish grin, glowing eyes, and supernatural abilities spread like the fog that blanketed the streets. It all began one foggy evening when a young woman, Mary Stevens, was walking home alone. The streets were deserted, and the gas lamps flickered eerily. A figure appeared before her. Jumping from rooftop to rooftop with astonishing ease, Mary gasped as the mysterious stranger landed before her, and she caught a glimpse of his grotesque features. Just as she thought she had escaped, he reappeared. His clawed hands grabbed her, ripping her clothes. Scared, she let out a scream, and the beast retreated. Several residents rushed to her aid. According to her official deposition, she could feel the claws on her skin, cold and clammy, like those of a corpse. The very next day, he struck again, not far from Mary's home. He jumped in the way of a passing carriage, causing the coachman to lose control, crash, and severely injure himself. Several witnesses claimed that he escaped by jumping over a 9-foot-high wall, as if he had springs in his shoes. A few months later, the Lord Mayor of England received a letter from a distinguished member of the community claiming that 7 women have reported similar sightings to Mary's, and that 2 of them may never mentally recover. The next day, the Times ran the story, and what happened next took the Lord Mayor by surprise. Piles of letters poured in from around London, all of them telling similar accounts of their interaction with this demon. Most were frightened, but some suffered severe wounds and others reportedly even died. The Lord Mayor was unsure what to think. These reports seemed rather embellished, but there were so many of them, even from those close to him, so he instructed the police to search for the perpetrator. Soon after, in February 1838, within a couple of weeks of one another, he attacked 2 teenage girls, each being saved by their siblings. Both girls reported blue and white flames coming from his mouth and big red glowing eyes. One of them sustained deep cuts on her neck and arms, while the other lost her sight. After these incidents, Spring-Heeled Jack became one of the most popular characters of the period. His alleged exploits were reported in the newspapers and became the subject of several penny dreadfuls and plays performed in the cheap theaters that abounded at the time. In 1843, a wave of new reports of Spring-Heeled Jack came in, and again after 1870. In 1877, 2 of the most notable reports came about with multiple witnesses at each event. In August of 1877, a group of soldiers at Aldershot Camp were attacked by Spring-Heeled Jack. They fired at him, but there was no visible effect, and Spring-Heeled Jack took off with astonishing bounding, as one soldier put it. A couple of months later, an angry mob chased and cornered him, and just as in Aldershot, residents fired at him to no effect. He was said to have made use of his leaping abilities to lose the crowd and disappear once again. By the early 1900s, reports had slowed, but for decades, especially in London, his name was equated with the Boogeyman, as a means of scaring children into behaving by telling them if they were not good, Spring-Heeled Jack would leap up and peer in at them through their bedroom windows. No one was ever caught and identified as Spring-Heeled Jack. Despite their efforts, he remained an enigma, vanishing into the shadows whenever he was close to capture. Some believed he was a specter, a phantom of the night, while others thought him a skilled acrobat or a trickster seeking notoriety. To this day, the legend of Spring-Heeled Jack persists. Whether a real entity or a figment of the imagination, he lives on in the dark streets of England when the fog rolls in and the gas lamps flicker. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more History Quick Hits. Fascinating short stories about our past.